Hey, it's Mr. Catlin, guys. Sorry, my voice is a little scratchy, but we'll get through it. And we're looking at lesson 13 of your homework, the first page for this week. And we are doing something for each quantity. We're going to find two qualities, two values that make X true for the inequality, and two values that make it false. Okay, so let's start with A. I need this to be bigger than 70. So for part A, actually, I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's do a little table here to make this a little more organized. So I'm going to put my two true ones on this side, right? Two that are true. And then I'll do another table over here in a different color that don't make it true, that'll be false. And I'll do one for each, and you can do the other. You get the idea, right? So, because this is you coming up with your own answers here. A number that would make this true, I could put in the number 100, right, for the first one. And let's break this down. This is A. This one will be my answers for B, for C, and then the last one there for D. And then we'll do the same thing over here. So A, B, C, and D. All right, this is just make it a little more organized. 100 plus 3 is bigger than 70, so that makes sense. Something that would not make that true, 50 plus 3, right? False. You come up with your own other example. Something plus 3 that's smaller than 70. Well, something that would make that true, 5, right? 5 plus 3 is less than 70. Something that would make that false would be something large. So, like 80. 80 plus 3 is not smaller than 70, right? So I'm plugging these numbers in for X is all that I'm doing. Let's go back to the next one. -5 times something is smaller than 2. Well, it's negative, so to keep it less than 2, let's just keep it negative by multiplying it by a regular number, like a positive 2. 2 times -5 is -10, way smaller than -2, or way smaller than 2. So that one works there. Something that would make that false, if I put a negative number in for X, it would multiply by another negative and make it positive. And as long as I keep it bigger than 2, we should be okay. So let's pick something like -3. -5 times -3 is 15. 15 is not smaller than 2. So you can see why that would work. All right, something times 5 that's less than 2. To keep that true, we could use something very small or negative like 0. 5 times 0 is 0. 0 is less than 2, right? Something that would be false would be when it's bigger than 2, like 5 times 1, right? That wouldn't be true. It wouldn't be bigger anymore. Other trues would be negative numbers. Other falses would just be larger positives. All right, you can do the other half yourself. On number 2, they give us an inequality, and they want us to list some values for X that make it true. Okay, so let's think about this. -3 times something that would be bigger than 18. Okay, it's got to be negative, right? We're going to have some negative numbers, and the product of this number and 3 has to be bigger than 18. So we need numbers that are negative and greater in absolute value than 6, right? So numbers like -7. -7 would go here and give me positive 21, which is bigger. And as I continue to go down into the negatives, it would continue to work, right? We could keep going on forever there. How are the solutions different from the solutions if it was or equal to or just greater than? Explain your reasoning. If we have the equal compared to this, the only difference in our answers is going to be that -6, which is what the solution is based around. -6 is a solution whenever it's or equal to. And then when it's just greater than like this, without the or equal to, -6 is not for that one. That's the only difference reasoning. All right. Match each sentence with the inequality that could represent the situation. Okay, let's do this. So Han got $2 from Claire, but he still has less than 20. All of these are obviously less than 20. If he got $2 from Claire, though, that means that he added some money to his amount. So I'm going to say that this one probably matches number 3. May spent. Spent is a takeaway kind of thing. Still has less than 20, but spent makes me think that $2 was taken away. So -2. I feel like that one's probably number 1. The third one here, if Tyler had twice the amount of money he has, he would have less than $20. So if you take his money and double it, right, that would be like number 2. He'd still have less than 20, which means by process of elimination, half of the money would be number 4. That's pretty easy stuff there. All right, number 4. Select all of the stories that can be represented by this diagram. We got a total of 7 that's broken down into 1 and 3 identical parts. All right, let's see what we can do. Andre studies 7 hours this week for end-of-year exams. He spends 1 hour on English and an equal number of hours math, science, and history. Here we go. Math, science, history, and the 1 hour on English for a total of 7. I like that. I would select A. That seems to match it right on. Lynn spends $3 on 7 markers and $1 on a pen. I'm not so much on this one because $3 on 7 markers, that doesn't really match up with what we have going on here. $1 on a pen, I could see why the one extra piece, but they're not saying that that's part of the 7, and our diagram is, so I don't like that one. Diego spends $1 on 7 stickers and 3 marbles. Once again, the dollar is not really part of the 7. It's how much that would be more like the dollar is the total, right? We break it down into 7 stickers and 3 marbles, though we don't know how much they cost. Noah shares 7 grapes with 3 friends. He eats 1 and gives each friend the same number of grapes. Now, I do like that one because he has a total of 7. He's got 3 friends, 1, 2, 3. He eats 1 of them, so he's taking away 1, and then everybody else gets 2, right? 2, 4, 6, 7. So that one makes sense to me. Elena spends $7 on 3 notebooks and a $1 pen. Now that's a total of 7. 3 things that we don't know, boom, 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 and then $1 for the pen. So I like this one too. So A, D, and E for that. And that is your first page of your homework.